Hello. Hello, class. This is Mr. Garcia, and in this new video about your class, what you're gonna do basically this class is called part of a system called the council, and it's kind of like going beyond the 13th grade, 14th grade, 15th grade, and so on. We already went through a process a few classrooms ago, talking about exactly what we do. One form of teaching is called concatenation, when instead you follow a process in literature where you move from a connection between words to sentences to paragraphs. Instead, you work through a concatenating reference form where you focus on sentences being the paragraphs and then words being the sentences or letters being the words. It's like a play with how you work with the paperwork and everything that you do. Basically, our classroom is basically trying to reform a style of work instead of actually going to a workplace. It's how to learn how to have your own office, have your own paperwork, and work with other people. There's other places where you can interact with others, so be it in a workforce, like in a factory or office supply store, or other places where you basically have different things to do. And the process of this method of the council is basically to make work easier as you get older, so you can have a job and make it feel as if you're in a simple place where you can just have your time there, get used to it, so you'll be able to continue more work down the line, so you don't have to work in the same place for 15 years and make the mistake of staying at a single place. But we are not focusing on that right now because that's further into the incline of the council. A lot of students like to take over the council sometimes, so they become the teacher's pet, and then the student tries to teach the rest of the class with a form of what they're trying to do, but the teacher always proves himself worthy of destroying the student. And by destroying the student, you don't literally destroy, and they basically lose their efforts and have to try again, because the teacher is basically the sensei and knows what's going to happen, knows what to teach and how to teach it and where it's going to lead the student, because the teacher actually knows more than the student sometimes. But this is a typical hierarchical system, but we're not going to work in that hierarchical system because friendship and structure, community, and all that stuff is much more important. So let's say, for example, Democratic and Republican sides, left and right. Instead of like continuously arguing, you make jokes of each other, have comedy, and kind of interact. Like, it's not a whole race to see who's the most serious, but a kind of intermingling of having to understand each other and get used to each other. Even if we're both destroying the world, at least we can do it in a way that doesn't cause much more damage to each other. But that's just one reference point. But there's much more to learn. There will be literature class, history class, English class, math class, and much more classes on the way. This is just my starting point, what I'm working with. As like not the first, there's been multiple teachers that have tried this before, but they haven't really published their works. But we're going to be working in much more intuitive forms of implore. Anyways, done.